And we're back, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. I'm playing Fallout 4 again. I stopped playing, a bunch of years ago. But recently I reinstalled it with a whole bunch of mods to enhance the experience. And I have to say, I am really enjoying myself playing this game again. It's preventing me from making more videos on YouTube, for which I'm sorry, but not really, because I'm so much enjoying Fallout 4, more than I thought I would, actually, and it really makes sense playing Fallout 4, and looking back on the various iterations of the Fallout franchise, it makes sense. It all falls together, and especially looking back on Fallout 3, it was the first game that translated the top-down Fallout game into a full-on open-world first-person experience, and that was quite the achievement. And next was Fallout New Vegas, that I spent so many hours on, and it had this huge world again, but also introduced something new in that there were various factions that were fighting each other, the NCR and the Legion. So I enjoyed that a lot, and Fallout 4 really continues that sort of progression of a more of an evolution, I'd say. By the way, you're looking at some gameplay. I'm currently inside this plant. I need to get rid of all the bandits that are inside the plant. But Fallout 4 makes a lot of sense to me. It has to do with the fact that not only did you get this new Commonwealth area to explore and just do the questing and stuff, but it also added a new element of building your own settlements. And that just makes a lot of sense to me, right? Because it's when there's a catastrophe, there's always an urge or a human trait, so to speak, that people want to rebuild their lives. They want to start anew. And so in that way, it makes sense to have you build settlements for the survivors. And it actually worked quite well, actually, in Fallout 4. Although I didn't care too much. I still don't care too much about the whole building experience. But again, it makes sense in this post-apocalyptic world where you start anew and create some settlements. And unfortunately, there are a whole lot of mods now available for Fallout 4 that sort of remedy the things that you just don't like or fix problems that you think the game has. And I will share my mod list down below. I'm not going to create specific links to the mods. You just Google them and you'll find them on the Nexus. But for instance, I have installed the SimSettlements mod that allows you to sort of automate the whole building process of settlements, and that's just very well-made mod. That's really aimed at me, a player that enjoys the exploration, enjoys the looting, enjoys the shooting, the RPG element, but doesn't really care too much about settlement building. Also, I was thinking about using the Horizon mod. You might have heard of that. It's a mod, and I've actually tried it out. It's a mod that enhances the survival elements of the vanilla game, but it also makes the whole survival elements really cumbersome in a way. It takes a lot of work to get all the resources that you need to survive, like clear water and food and all that sort of thing. You have to, like for instance, for clear water, you need to have various structures, filters, and that sort of thing. That is realistic. I mean, that makes sense, right? To build these structures to get the clear water. But it also means that there's a lot more work for the player to be done to create those structures, to get those resources. Also, they have removed the stim packs in a way that you can use stim packs to like mend or heal broken limbs and that sort of thing. That doesn't make sense. Or eating food and getting your health back. I mean, when I'm sick and I'm eating food, I'm not going to get healthy like instantly. That doesn't make sense. And if I'm using like this injection stim pack thing, that's not gonna mend my broken arm or something in that way. So Horizon mod is an interesting mod. I'm not playing with it again because there's so much you need to be doing to get the resources, and it just, to me, it's not fun. But if you are into survival and you don't mind working to get the resources, then this is probably more for you. I'm personally more interested in stuff that enhance my gameplay, my immersion, that adds more stuff to do to the world of Fallout. And so that's where I focus on. And if I may give you one little advice, if you're going to use mods, I have to say, by the way, that Fallout 4 is probably the most stable game that Bethesda's ever released that can sustain mods. I still have to experience a crash to desktop or any other strange glitch. It's fairly stable. It is really very moddable and versatile. But to talk a little bit more about the mods that I have installed, an advice: don't go overboard with adding all kinds of mods. You know, it's easy, and it's a pitfall. Really, it's a trap you can fall into if you're using way too many mods. That will hamper your performance, your frame rate, and just the general performance of the game. It will have an impact. So I'm not using any texture packs or anything like that. I do have huge respect for people that take the time and the effort to create high-resolution textures and that sort of thing. That must be a huge amount of work, but I don't use any of those because I don't really mind that much when textures look a little muddy or not very detailed. So what I'm mostly using, if I look through my mod list, I'm using quite a lot of new armor mods, just to spice things up, to give me more options to wear different kinds of armor and that sort of thing. I just enjoy that. I also add a whole bunch of companions. I love switching out companions. That really, again, spices up the gameplay quite a bit. Other than that, I have a huge amount, or not huge, but quite a few quest mods that I've added to the game because, you know, there's just more stuff to do. And Fallout being pretty much a kind of a desolate world here and there, it's always nice to have some quests that you can pursue, or some new structures or new areas to explore. I do like that. So sort of lore-friendly areas and structures. I like that kind of thing. Also, I added quite a few new weapons to the game, mostly lore-friendly, not all of them, but just a whole bunch of new stuff, some makeshift weapons, and I just don't know. I just did a whole bunch of them. I'll list them down below. Other than that, some gameplay enhances, some extra radio stations, weather mod, that sort of thing, like True Storm is recommended. Again, for some more immersion. And I do have also, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. There's also quite a large mod. Basically, there are two mods: unique NPCs and unique beasts and creatures. I think it's called. I don't know. These are huge mods that offer quite a variety of new and just new assembled NPCs or different NPCs that you will see in the game. That is just not necessary because they're quite a large files to download and to install. But I do enjoy that. Just to give you a little bit more immersion in Fallout 4. But other than that, there's not much more to tell, really. I'm enjoying Fallout 4. And again, best advice if you are starting out with mods, just less is more. Just start out with a few new weapons, few new armors, maybe some like a small mod, like lowered weapons, for instance. That is just amazing mod where you can lower your weapon and you get more screen to watch. I mean, it's the weapons in Fallout 4, especially the incident weapons, are just very in your face. They take quite a large portion of the screen, and a little mod like lowered weapons is just so convenient. You just don't look at your weapon all the time, and that sort of thing. It's just something that is so convenient. You know, some convenient mods. Install them, see if you like them, and you can add more mods and see what. But really think about what do you think is the problem that needs to be fixed in Fallout 4. You know, is that if you didn't like the whole settlement thing, well, then use SimSettlements. If you don't like the vanilla weapons, add some more weapons. If you don't like the NPCs, add some more, or different settlers and all that sort of thing. You can really go all the way, but again, start slow and see whether or not it breaks your game or not. That's it for me. I'm just going to continue playing Fallout 4. I'm just enjoying myself so much with it. And so yeah, hopefully I can find the time to, you know, spend some more time on making videos. But I can't promise anything. But so thank you guys for watching so far. And I'll see you next time.